the Workers' Party was suggesting in its manifesto, offering a definition of affordability. And that definition is based on median household income applied to all flat types, including 5-room flats, when we know that HDB flats cater to the whole range of Singaporeans up to the 80th income percentile. So the Workers' Party's position is basically to peg the definition of affordability to median household income, even for higher income earners in Singapore.
As I mentioned to Mr. Seah, that formulation was the maximum cap, not the expression of where the average should be targeted at. So I'm not sure I fully understand his question, but he's referring to the 2020 manifesto formulation that we gave, and I would remind him that it includes various elements there, which he did not allude to: a 20-year, 10-year, 10% down payment, and additional subsidies for 2- and 3-room flats. So I'd like to ask Mr. Seah, and you know, we've said that we believe that 3 or close to 3 is the right HPI target for BTO in a non-mature estate. So I would like to ask Mr. Seah, what is the point that he's trying to make? And also, I would like to ask Mr. Seah, what is his view on affordability? Where would you draw the line? At what level of HPI between what is affordable and what's not affordable?
Well, sir, I think the point is this. According to Mr. Pereira's clarification, the Workers' Party's proposition of pegging the highest flat type, a 5-room, to median income, basically must mean that the cost of a 5-room flat for higher income Singaporeans must come down. And that must be funded in some way. I think it is reasonable to assume that a proposal to peg housing price to median income must be based on a median flat type. And if Mr. Pereira is proposing that the highest flat type must also be pegged to median income, then I would like to ask Mr. Pereira, just how exactly does he suggest funding this? Because it must mean that the price of a 5-room flat must come down to a median income level.
Well, I think whether or not the HPI should be 4 or 3, as long as the current target is about 5, I think any number that's below 5 must look attractive to buyers. But of course, there will be some trade-offs, and I think it is also in the spirit of what WP members have mentioned, their concern about fiscal sustainability, that we also consider some trade-offs. And in fact, in the spirit of leaving no stones unturned, this is also a question that my colleagues and I have been asking ourselves. So we've done some projections. What would it take to bring the HPI down, say, to 3? There is an estimated fiscal cost because additional subsidies would be required in order to make this happen. And based on our projections, it comes up to more than $2.3 billion per year. This would be equivalent to about 20% of annual healthcare expenditure, or about 1/3 of what we spend annually on general education. If our members are curious as to what this means in terms of additional revenue that has to be raised through taxes, well, this is more than the value of the 1% increase in GST. Actually, it's more like 1.3%.
In 2013, Minister Khaw Boon Wan spoke of the HPI and wanting to ensure that HPI comes down to 4. And that was why I was asking the question to SMS. When she said anything below 5 is affordable, is that a shift of the government's position?
Leader of Opposition, I was referring to the fact that currently what we have shown is that we've kept it to 5, and in the context of your members asking, how about 3? How about considering 3? So I was trying to explain that it's not to say that there's any number that is naturally compelling, but that if we're talking about how to peg affordability, I think there is some judgment involved. And I think to buyers, we understand that to buyers, price lower would always be more preferred and more welcomed. That's the point I was making.